Today, we're going to do a little bit of digital archaeology. We're going to uncover the story of an entire town, not from old dusty books, but from one of the most normal, everyday places on the internet.
So get this. Our source material for this whole thing is the website for a plumber. Yeah, a plumber. A company called Dr. Drain in a town called Vernon Hills, Illinois. And you'd think it's all about, pipes and faucets, but it turns out there's a much bigger story flowing just under the surface.
And that really brings us to the big question here, right? What can you really learn from something like this? Well, we're going to treat this website like it's a historical document. We'll look at the problems it solves, the history it shares, and the data it shows us to see what it says about this one American suburb.
Okay, so first things first. Let's start with the obvious stuff, the plumbing. What are the actual problems people in Vernon Hills are dealing with? Turns out, the list of services gives us our first big clues.
And right off the bat, we start piecing things together. Heavy rain. Okay, so we know something about the climate. Tree root growth, that paints a picture of a leafy, established neighborhood, right? And older piping. That tells us this isn't some brand new development. This place has been around for a while. It has a past.
Now this is where it gets kind of cool. They're not just talking about using a snake to clear a drain. They're offering stuff like hydrojetting. I mean, that sounds intense. It's a super high-tech solution, and that tells us two things. One, the clogs can be really bad, and two, the customers here probably expect the latest and greatest fixes.
And I love this because the website isn't just trying to sell you something, it's actually teaching you. It breaks down the difference between the old school way, power rotting, which is basically just brute force, and hydrojetting, which is more like a deep clean for your pipes. They're setting themselves up as the experts, the consultants.
So I was clicking around reading about video camera inspections and all that, and then I found a page that had absolutely nothing to do with plumbing. At all. It was a whole section on the history of Vernon Hills itself.
And just like that, everything changes. This isn't just a business website anymore. It's a local history archive, hidden in plain sight, created by, of all people, a plumbing company.
Just look at this timeline for a second. The town goes from a single farm to a tiny village with only 123 people in about 100 years. Then, boom, a shopping mall gets built in 1971 and the population just explodes. I mean, from 100 people to over 20,000 in less than 30 years. This is literally the story of how modern American suburbia was built, all on one page.
Okay, so this is where all the different threads start to come together. We've got the plumbing issues on one hand and the town's explosive history on the other. But the website gives us one more piece of the puzzle, hard data about the people who live there.
First up, the population today. That growth we saw, it didn't stop in the year 2000. It kept going. And you have to imagine every new house, every new person puts more and more strain on that underlying infrastructure, both the old pipes and the new ones.
And here it is, a really critical piece of information. The median household income is over $100,000 a year. So what does that mean for drains? It means people can afford, and probably even demand, those premium, high-tech services we saw earlier, the ones that don't tear up your whole yard.
This is wild. They even have census data on the site. It shows a town that's mostly white, but also has a really significant Asian community, along with other groups. It gives you a real snapshot of what a modern, evolving American suburb looks like today.
So this is it. This is the whole shebang where it all connects. That rapid growth since the 70s, that means you've got a crazy mix of aging pipes and brand new pipes, all with different problems. The high income, that creates a demand for the best tech. And that dense suburban development, it just puts a ton of stress on the whole system. The plumbing issues are a direct reflection of the town's entire story.
So, okay, besides all this cool digital detective work, the website is still, a website for a plumber. And it actually offers some really solid practical advice that anyone, anywhere can use.
I mean, this checklist is just smart. It's fantastic advice. By putting this out there, they're not just trying to sell their services. They're building trust. They're showing you they want you to be an educated customer, which is a brilliant move.
And that leads to this quote, which is also from the site. The plumber points out that the town is a retail hub. And in a way, that's exactly what this website has become. By sharing all this info, the history, the data, the consumer tips, it's created its own little digital information hub. It's using transparency and knowledge to draw people in. So I guess we'll leave it with this question. The next time you're online looking up a local bakery or a hardware store or even a plumber, take an extra second
Click around a little bit. You never know what you might find. You might just uncover the hidden story of your own town.